While I still enjoy playing Super Smash Bros. Brawl, even I can admit that it's a far from perfect game. I'm not afraid to admit that there are a lot of changes that need to be made, and some personal changes I would like to put in myself. So this is a list of my 10 changes that I would make for the next Smash Bros. Game. Oh, and for the record, I won't be talking about the story because, well, even though it could be better, I don't have an idea for it. Let's start it off. One thing that can really give players sweaty palms from their controllers is sudden death. All it takes is one decent hit to send the other person flying. And it can be very exciting to see who gets that hit. Unfortunately, there are some players who are, well, cowards, and would rather hang on the ledges or get to the edge of the screen than take the chance and fight the other character. Most of them do it just for fun and don't even care about the other people who are waiting for the next game to start. I see this happen a lot, and there's only one way that you can really get rid of it, and that's by adding in more elements than just the bombs. The best way I can see it, put in the Fighting Alloy team set on cruel mode to chase after the other players. That way, you'll have someone actually going after them. Because this alone needs to stop. While I normally like to have items turned off, that doesn't mean I don't like to have them on. I mean, as long as it's not a serious match. However, there are just two items I find so cheap that I never turn them on. The fan and the ray gun. The ray gun can constantly push people off screen. And I don't even have to talk about the fan, just show it. Look, either tone down those items or just get rid of them altogether. Speaking of getting rid of, can we stop having explosives spawn on top of players who are in the middle of their attacks? I strongly believe that you can win with just about any character in the game. Unfortunately, I do believe that there are also 4 characters who seriously need to be toned down for the next one. And no, I don't really have a problem with Meta Knight, they just need to slow the speed of his attacks down a little, that's all. And a quick mention to Rob, whose down smash works a little too fast and has a very long range. The 4 characters who absolutely need to be toned down are Pikachu, Luigi, Pit, and Mr. Game & Watch. Pikachu's down smash and down special are spammed way too much, and just about anyone trying to attack physically against Pikachu's down smash is going to get sucked in and will take a lot of damage and knockback. Nearly every one of Pit's attacks pretty much speak for themselves. They're fast and powerful, and there's almost no touching this attack, especially from the front. Luigi's recovery is ridiculous, and his attacks are fast and have a lot of knockback to them. And the same is pretty much true with Mr. Game & Watch, except for his recovery. They just have to try and balance it a little bit more so that these characters aren't too overpowered. And believe it or not, no, I don't have a problem with Ike. He's powerful, but he's slow, so it's balanced. Brawl's soundtrack is vastly more impressive than what the previous games had to offer. There's a lot of great music tracks put into every level, and you're able to choose how often you want to hear it. The only real issue I have with it is that there are just some songs that seem like they should have been in there. Also, it would have been nice if we had had some music that would have been on stages that didn't come from just that franchise. Heck, even Brawl did that. For the next one, I'd like to be able to put in more music tracks from different franchises to different stages, even if it's not from the same franchise, as long as it fits. Brawl's color change for the characters had a lot more options this time, like a dark Link, and a dark suit for Samus from Metroid Prime 2 Echoes. Sort of. But if we could have just a little bit more, I think it would have been nice if we could have had some costumes for the characters, instead of just different colors. Take Wario for example. He has his WarioWare suit and his regular Wario suit. So let's think for a second. Who else would have a nice costume? Mario could look like Dr. Mario. Samus could have the costume change for the fusion suit instead of having a color that looks like it. And Link could have the Zora armor. Though there are some costumes I don't want to see. Like a Shadow costume for Sonic, because I'd rather play as Shadow instead. The idea for a stage builder was brilliant. The execution was a little lackluster. There were only 3 generic backgrounds, you couldn't change the color texture, and you couldn't really make traps or hazards. It almost felt useless after a while, and you couldn't play against friends online with them. Random people I understand, but with friends? That's basically it, so it really shouldn't be that hard to change it. Just put in more backgrounds, give us some optional color texture, let us make some traps and hazards, and let us be able to play with friends online. At least the ones that we've already shared our Wii codes with. Clone characters have become a split issue. Some are in favor of them, others are against it. I say, let's put our differences aside and come up with an option that everybody can agree on. Taking an idea from Tales of Symphonia, what if you could customize each character's moveset, and then save it to your nickname? You want a Ganondorf with a sword? You got it. You want a Ganondorf that'll play like Captain Falcon? It's there too. This would also make online matches more fun, because you never know what character will have what attacks. And you could change what Final Smash you want them to have as well. So far I've been talking about additions and things I would like to change, but there is just one thing that really needs to be removed.
Tripping.
The completely stupid mechanic where a character will just randomly trip over themselves, leaving them wide open to an attack, and sometimes it can ultimately cost them the match. Some people have said, well, tripping has saved me. Well, it saved me about twice, but it's killed me every other time. With a record that bad, it just needs to go. The only time you should trip is when you're on a banana peel, where it actually makes sense, and can actually be pretty amusing when people are constantly tripping over it. Brawl needed Wi-Fi. There was just no way around it. It absolutely needed it. We got it, and not what we were expecting. Now I could probably do a top 10 list of this section alone, but that's overkill, so I'm just gonna leave it at 5. Number 5. They should let you know when your friends are online. You know, like Mario Kart DS did. Number 4. There should be more stuff to do. You know, like co-op boss battles, co-op event matches, and co-op classic mode. Plus some other features when you're just playing against random people, like being able to have the option of going one-on-one. Because I can't tell you how many times I've found myself going 1 against 3. Look at this, I can barely hold my own against these 3 people. Why can't I just go one-on-one? Where's my option for that? Number 3. Wi-Fi chat, because we'd like to talk to our friends while we're playing against them online. Random people I don't care about. I don't want to hear them talk, I want to talk to my friends. Number 2. Downloadable content. Even Brawl could have had downloadable content. The Forbidden 7 characters' data is still contained within the discs. Why can't we have downloadable content to let us be able to play as those characters, or even have the lost tracks? For the next iteration of the series, we should be able to have downloadable stages, music, characters, everything. And number 1, better servers. Because this is not acceptable. My connection is good, why am I being dropped? I'd like to drop whoever was in charge of the Wi-Fi into a falcon punch. Let's be completely honest with ourselves. Whenever a new Smash Bros. Game gets announced, there's always one thought that pops into our head and we just get so excited for it. And it's not just some new stage or some new mode, it's who we're gonna play as. Who are the characters who got in? Because no matter what, we always have new characters that we want to be able to play as. For me personally, I would love to see any of these 4 characters make it in, and when I saw Snake and Sonic get in, I got so excited for the possibility of more third-party characters. But since it looks like we're not going to get that many of them, I'll just settle for having Snake and Sonic return, along with the hopeful inclusions of Bomberman and Mega Man. After all, Smash is about playing as your favorite characters, and if that doesn't work for you, you can beat up the characters you didn't want in there. Well, that's my list for the 10 changes I would make for the next Smash Bros. Game. If you have your own list, go ahead and leave a comment about the 10 changes you would make for the next Smash Bros. Game.